We'll start by cutting a ring from our Pringles can. What we're going to do is first, you can cut this little ring off first if you'd like. You can leave it on too, but you can cut this ring off and then just measure 1/2 inch, okay, all around. Just mark all around that 1/2 inch, and then you can use, you can just cut this ring off, okay, right there. It doesn't have to be really, really even, just as close as you can get. So I have a ring already cut here, okay, and then optionally you can take a piece of plastic also from a milk jug or any kind of hard plastic and cut a strip off of it too to fit inside here, just to make it a little bit more solid. Okay, so I've cut that here too, and if you want you can hot glue it, but what you want to do is just put it in there snugly to give it some added strength. Okay. Then next, take your cardboard. I like to use recycled cereal boxes, and what we're going to do here is we're going to cut 2 circles that have to be smaller, hopefully about 1/8 of an inch smaller than this. But what you can do is just use this to mark your circle, and then just cut 2 of these. In addition to the 2 cardboard circles, you also need to cut out 2 circles the same size of batting, and then 2 circles of fabric that should be about 1/4 of an inch, larger than your cardboard circle. And then you also need a piece of fabric. This measures 10 inches here by 8 inches. What's important here is, I think that these are probably standard sizes, but you should double check and make sure, just measure the circumference of your ring, okay? This measures 9.5 inches, and then add 1/2 inch for the seam. So that's where the 10 inches come from, right here, okay, 10 inches. And then for the length, I've got this 8 inches. Okay? So just double check and make sure that that's the right size. If your ring has a different measurement, then you would need to adapt it. What you want is the circumference plus 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. So take your fabric circle and just do a little running stitch here along the edge. It's almost like making a yo-yo, but close to the edge along the entire edge of the fabric circle. Okay, and then you're going to place the piece of batting down first, okay, and your cardboard circle on top, and then fasten it, okay, so that you close it over the circle. So you will have the batting on the outside, okay, and then just gather with a few more stitches to hold it in place. And repeat this with the second circle too. Next you want to sew both circles together, just using a little ladder stitch. Until you have the whole circumference closed. Press the long sides of your fabric rectangle down about 1/4 of an inch on the 10-inch side then. This would be the 8-inch length, and this is the 10-inch length, so 1/4 of an inch down for your seam allowance. And the next step will be to sew the short end that is on the 8-inch side of your rectangle. Sew those two sides together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then press the seam open. Okay. And now with the wrong side still out, you're going to take your ring, insert it here, and you're going to fold the fabric down over the ring. And bring it all the way down, matching the seam allowance and the edges of the fabric. So you're making a little tube here. Okay. But we want all the edges to match up. Once you've got your tube, all the edges all aligned right, then we are going to sew right along the edge of that little cardboard tube, catching it in the seam so that it's nice and snug up against the edge of the fabric. So just go around the whole circumference of the tube and make sure that it's nice and snug. Now we're going to take the inside layer and push it up and out. Okay. And we're going to take our cardboard cover circle and pin it. You'll see that here the tube is a little bit bigger than the cardboard circle. Remember that this ring was bigger, so obviously it is going to be a little bit bigger than the circle. So just pin it at sort of regular intervals. Just to hold it in place while you stitch it. And then what you're going to do is just stitch it with a little whip stitch, gathering in the fabric as need be as you go along, so that the whole thing is stitched so that the tube of fabric is stitched to the cardboard circle, which will be the base of our thread catcher. So just stitch around the whole circumference again. Okay, so I finished stitching the circle, and I'm just going to slip my thread to the other side. It's not really necessary to cut it off. And I just hold it down to the other side of the cardboard there. And now just push the whole piece through to the other side, to the other edge. And here we're going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, just straighten it all out and just hold it in place with a couple of pins. Okay. And then just continue stitching this side closed too. The same way you did on the inside. This is the outside. Okay, until you've stitched the whole thing closed. Okay, so we finished sewing the bottom and our thread catcher is ready. So all you have to do is just keep collecting all your threads. And then this is a really portable thread catcher. Why? Because it is collapsible. To collapse it, all you have to do is take both ends, make sure that all your threads are tightly in there, take both ends and twist. And then just push the bottom inside the ring. And it's closed. Easy to carry. Thank you for watching.